Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. This is probably going to be a short one, but I want to take a moment to talk about this really interesting Polish TV series on Netflix called High Water. It's been well over a month since I watched it, and honestly, I found my thoughts returning to it quite frequently, so I thought it'd be worth talking about this channel. This is a 6-episode series that dramatizes the real-world events surrounding the 1997 Central European floods that affected Germany, Czech Republic, and Poland. Incidentally, this story focuses on the events in Poland within and around the city of Wrocław. It's of particular interest to me, seeing as my family comes from this little town not too far away from Wrocław. In fact, I even have a few memories of that when we went to visit the aftermath in my childhood. I must have been, like 5 years old at that time? Anyway, this has been named as the flood of the millennium, and it has claimed the lives of 124 people. From what I understand, the nationwide losses for Poland reached somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 billion zloty, and that's not even counting the damage on the rest of the European countries. So clearly, this is a story worth immortalizing on film. And I gotta say, right from the start, I love the cast in this series. The lead actress Agnieszka Żulewska gives a powerful, hard-as-nails performance as Jaśmina Tremer, a hydrologist who returns to Wrocław to help handle the crisis. It's exhilarating and inspiring to see her smash through these political walls of bullshit like a battering ram and get shit done. The rest of the cast did an equally serviceable job. I won't name them all, but I was quite pleasantly surprised to see Tomasz Kot, for example, though in an admittedly minor role. For those who don't know him, he played the lead role in the outstanding film Cold War. Arguably, it's the finest piece of cinema to come out of Poland in well over a decade, and it basically earned universal critical acclaim, as well as earning 3 Oscar nominations for International Film, of course, and notably Best Director and Best Cinematography. Well earned. There's also Anna Dynna, who plays Jasmina Tremer's mother. I don't personally know her, but my parents spoke very fondly of her, and they tell me that she was quite a star in her prime time. And I can see that talent shine through in her portrayal of this really heartbreaking character. And finally, as an added bonus, High Water is a crash course in learning how to swear in Polish. Practice makes perfect, they say, and boy will you get a lot of practice watching this thing. Ha! Jokes aside, I love the choice of words here. I dare say the subtitles will have a lot of juicy nuances lost in translation, but for my part, it's music to my ears. Anyway, all that aside, the beating heart of the series is how it highlights an important environmental disaster, though most notably how politics, corruption, and confusion got in the way of taking action that would greatly mitigate this flood. And there's one moral dilemma in particular that really just stayed in my mind the whole time and just won't let go. Yes, this is a bit of a spoiler that I'm going to go over, but seeing how this is based on real life events and that it's been basically 25 years since then, I think I'm going to give myself carte blanche to just move forward with this. Essentially, there was a plan to evacuate an entire village and sacrifice that village by flooding it, so that the entire city of Wrocław could be spared. It's a shitty situation any way you look at it. And who can blame the villagers for rebelling against the governmental authorities for taking such a decision? And they did fight them and successfully defend their village. Good job. However, that came with a consequence. And that consequence was a devastating flood that wreaked havoc across this massive historical city and exponentially caused more people to lose their homes and even their lives in many cases. It's a brutal reality that gives me pause. That aside, it does feel like they over-dramatized some of the events, created character arcs for the sake of TV drama, and it does get in the way of the message of High Water every now and then. I question how necessary that was at times, but honestly, the execution could have been a lot worse. Looking at it in a vacuum, it's competently told web of family dramas that does effectively pull on the heartstrings. Some of the names of the cities are changed as well, which kind of confused my family since we originate from around Wrocław, but I think most viewers will not even blink an eye at this. I am now going to go down a rabbit hole to point out what each historical inaccuracy is, because largely I think this show fulfills its purpose to shed light on a particularly challenging time in Poland's history. If High Water caught your eye among the new releases on Netflix this year, but you were hesitating to check it out because of the undoubtable plethora of new content or old content even that's out there, then let me make your life a bit easier. I highly, full-heartedly recommend you to check it out. It's a well-realized series that dramatizes some really important historical events that are worth taking a moment to stop and ponder over. Like I said, it's been some time since I finished watching this thing, and there are just little bits and pieces of this show that are just lodged into my brain and that won't let me go. And before I forget, they did a tremendous job visually on this show to recreate this horrendous flooding that happened in this city. It was a terror to see, but it kept me completely immersed in the experience. I think this is a very respectable filmmaking attempt that earns an 8 out of 10 in my books. As promised, today will be a short one. I am super busy, but that's the way I like it. As always, take care of yourselves. I wish you nothing but the best. Talk to you very soon.